Welcome to World Insight. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. A new and unexpected economic front has opened against the United States, one that is not defined by armies or weapons, but by the strategic use of resources and trade policy. This time the challenge comes from two powerful nations acting in concert, Canada and China, both leveraging their unique positions on the world stage. In a move that has caught many by surprise, these countries are coordinating their efforts to maximize their influence. Canada, with its vast reserves of oil and natural gas, is rethinking its traditional role as America's most reliable energy supplier. Meanwhile, China, which dominates the global supply of rare earth minerals essential for electronics, defense, and green technologies, is tightening its grip on these critical exports. Canada's reconsideration of its energy exports signals a major shift in North American energy dynamics, raising questions about the future of cross-border cooperation. At the same time, China's new export restrictions on rare earths threaten to disrupt entire industries, from electric vehicles to advanced weaponry, putting pressure on American manufacturers and policymakers alike. This isn't a military conflict, but a war of resources, fought with pipelines, export permits, mineral quotas, and the power to withhold what the world needs most. These bold moves are a direct response to years of unpredictable U.S. trade policy, tariffs, and shifting alliances, which have left allies and rivals alike searching for new leverage. Both Canada and China are seeking greater national leverage, determined to protect their interests and assert their influence in a rapidly changing global order. America's long-standing assumption that Canada would always be a dependable energy partner, and that China would remain a stable supplier of rare earths, has been shattered, forcing a dramatic reassessment of old alliances. The United States must now urgently reevaluate its supply chain security, diplomatic relationships, and strategies for resource independence in a world where trust can no longer be taken for granted. By restricting these vital inputs, Canada and China demonstrate that they can disrupt the U.S. economy and global markets without ever firing a shot or crossing a border. In today's interconnected world, control over resources has become the ultimate form of power projection, reshaping the balance of global politics and redefining what it means to be secure. Rare earth elements like neodymium are the hidden backbone of our modern world. Though they sound exotic, these metals are crucial to the devices and systems we use every day, often in ways most people never realize. Lanthanum, for example, is essential to the batteries that power hybrid cars, while neodymium is a key ingredient in the powerful magnets found in everything from headphones to wind turbines. These elements are at the heart of smartphones, electric vehicles, advanced medical imaging devices, and even the guidance systems in military jets and missiles. The U.S. depends on rare earths, not just for consumer electronics, but for the very technologies that drive innovation in clean energy and national defense. Yet for decades, America has outsourced nearly all rare earth mining and refining to China. Today, China dominates the global supply chain, controlling about 80% of production and processing. This overwhelming dependency gives Beijing significant leverage, allowing it to influence prices, restrict exports, or even cut off supply in times of tension, putting U.S. industry and security at risk. Rebuilding a domestic supply chain is a massive, costly, and slow process. It requires not just opening new mines, but also developing the expertise and infrastructure to refine and process these complex materials. Years of neglect have left America with outdated facilities and a shortage of skilled workers, making the path to self-sufficiency even steeper. As a result, the U.S. remains exposed to sudden supply disruptions, whether from global trade disputes, diplomatic standoffs, or deliberate Chinese policy decisions. Until America regains control over its rare earth resources, its technological leadership and military strength will remain vulnerable to forces beyond its borders. The rare earth challenge is no longer just an economic issue, it's a matter of national security, demanding urgent attention and action. Canada has long been America's top supplier of oil and gas, a relationship often taken for granted. Now, Ottawa is shifting strategy, fast-tracking LNG terminals on its Pacific coast, and expanding pipelines to global markets. Canada wants to diversify beyond the U.S., seeking higher prices and more control over its resources. Years of U.S. policy uncertainty and pipeline delays have pushed Canada to look elsewhere. By opening new export routes, Canada aims to become a global energy player, not just America's supplier. For the US, this means less reliable, more expensive energy, and greater market volatility. Even close allies will prioritize their own interests, forcing America to confront a new energy reality. The era of guaranteed Canadian energy is ending. China's rare earth dominance is no longer a theoretical threat, it's now a reality. Beijing has imposed strict export licensing on key rare earths, creating a bureaucratic choke point. Framed as environmental policy, it's really a tool of geopolitical leverage. The message to Washington: access to these minerals now depends on China's political will. American tech, auto, and defense industries face immediate uncertainty and potential slowdowns. China can reward allies and punish rivals without declaring a trade war. This move institutionalizes control, making rare earths a powerful lever of statecraft. The US is reminded that 21st century supply chains create new vulnerabilities. China holds one of the most important keys to America's industrial future. Donald Trump has responded with characteristic bombast, calling Canada and China's actions a betrayal. He frames the crisis as proof of his past warnings and calls for sweeping tariffs and sanctions. But as a political figure out of office, his proposals are performative, not actionable. Experts warn that aggressive tariffs could provoke further retaliation, worsening the crisis. Trump's narrative of strength resonates with some but offers few practical solutions. The real challenge, rebuilding domestic supply chains, requires time, investment, and bipartisan effort. America is caught between fiery rhetoric and the slow, complex work of industrial renewal. The gap between political posturing and practical solutions has never been wider. The combined pressure from Canada and China is sending shockwaves through the US economy. Energy prices are rising, squeezing families and businesses alike. Manufacturing faces a double hit: higher energy costs and rare earth shortages. Production slowdowns threaten jobs, especially in high-tech and green industries. The promise of new jobs in sectors like electric vehicles is undermined by supply chain uncertainty. Businesses hesitate to invest, fearing unstable access to critical resources. The ripple effect reaches Wall Street, fueling economic anxiety and risk aversion. America's economic engine is now vulnerable to global resource politics. The US and Canada, two of the world's most resource-rich nations, have long enjoyed a close partnership, sharing not only a border, but also deep economic and strategic ties. Yet, as the global landscape shifts, their roles are evolving in ways that will have profound consequences for the world. Alongside China, these countries are now at the forefront of a new era, one defined by fierce competition for vital resources, from energy to minerals, that underpin modern economies and technologies. America stands at a pivotal crossroads. It must decide whether to adapt to the rise of resource nationalism, investing in domestic production and innovation, or risk a gradual decline in its global influence and economic strength. If the US fails to act, the consequences could be severe: lost jobs, shuttered industries, and a diminished voice on the world stage, as other powers fill the vacuum. Alternatively, a bold national effort to achieve resource independence could spark a new wave of investment, technological breakthroughs, and economic revitalization, positioning America as a leader in the industries of the future. Canada, with its vast reserves of oil, minerals, and clean energy, is poised to become a global energy powerhouse, attracting international investment and attention. But this newfound influence comes with risks. As Canada asserts itself, it could face growing tensions with its southern neighbor, challenging the stability of one of the world's most important alliances. Meanwhile, China's dominance in rare earth minerals gives it unprecedented leverage over global supply chains, potentially cementing its leadership in critical technologies. However, this strategy could also backfire, as overreach may provoke international backlash and efforts to diversify away from Chinese control. The era of unchallenged American dominance is ending, giving way to a world where power is more widely distributed and alliances are constantly shifting. In the coming decade, competition for critical resources will define international relations, shaping everything from trade policies to security strategies. The decisions made by leaders today, whether to cooperate, compete, or confront, will determine the global balance of power for generations. As the sun rises on this new era, nations must adapt quickly, forging new strategies to secure their futures in an increasingly complex world. In this age, control of resources is more than just economic power. It is the key to shaping destiny on the world stage.